Now, we'll talk a little bit about financial powers of attorney. The basic gist of a financial power of attorney is it goes into effect the moment you sign it. It stays in effect until you either die, when it ends automatically, or you revoke it, which you can pretty well do anytime you want to. Or if you become incapacitated, the court could revoke it for you. But otherwise, it's on. It's on all the time. It basically says your agent can do anything that you could do. So if you could do it at a bank, whatever that is, they can do it too. They can deposit money, they can withdraw money, they can transfer money, they can buy CDs, they can open up new accounts, get you a free toaster, all that kind of stuff. They can handle investments. They can buy things, like a house. They can sell things, like your favorite bass boat. They can borrow money from the bank. They can borrow money from Vinny the Loan Shark. They can lend money to Stinky Pete, Vinny the Loan Shark's best friend that even Vinny the Loan Shark won't lend money to. They can hire people, like maids, landscapers, architects, lawyers. They can fire people, all of those same people. They can enter into contracts. And whenever they act, it's like you are there. You're acting. It's the closest thing in the law to cloning yourself that we have ever come up with. The you that is not really you, but is for legal purposes you, is out there doing things. There are two of you. I might be home just watching the Eagles game, and my agent might be off paying all my bills, writing out all my checks. Okay, I'm happy about that. My bills got paid, and I got to watch the Eagles game, didn't have to be bothered with it. It's like having a butler. Okay? And that's a really important concept when you're an agent. Because a lot of times, people who are named in a power of attorney, they get uppity. They've decided that they're now the lord of the manor. I have Mom's power of attorney. I can do whatever I want. No, no, no. You are Jeeves. Mother is the lord of the manor. You are just the little servant who comes around when she rings her bell. You're expected to do what she wants you to do. You're expected to not do what she doesn't want you to do. Well, what would I do if I didn't know what Mom wanted? Then you're to do what's in Mom's best interest. So every time an agent acts, the agent has to be able to show that what they did made the person they were acting for better off than they were before they acted. It doesn't matter what you decided to do. Before I acted, her grass was almost a foot high. The yard cop from the township had come by with his little ruler and he said, 1 more quarter inch and you're getting cited, Mom. So I hired Stinky Pete and he came over and cut the grass. And I paid Stinky Pete $25 to cut the grass because that seems to be the going rate for cutting grass in Mom's neighborhood. I asked 3 little kids, and Stinky Pete was the cheapest, and he did a decent job, so I paid him. So, what did I do as an agent? I hired Stinky Pete. I wrote out a check to pay Stinky Pete the $25 I owed him for having cut Mom's grass, and I spared Mom from getting a citation from the township for having her grass get too high. Now, if I had instead hired Stinky Pete to cut my grass and allowed my mother's grass to get another foot higher, well, that would be wrong. I have not made my mother any better off by having my grass cut using her money with Stinky Pete. So I can't answer the question very satisfactorily how Mom was better off now that my grass got cut with using her money. So it can be something as stupid as cutting your grass to I rebalanced my mother's portfolio because for some odd reason she had almost all of her money tied up in UPS stock. And God help us if FedEx did a better job next month and her stock went down. I didn't want her to lose 10, 20% of her entire net worth. So I diversified her portfolio across a whole host of mutual funds and fixed income securities, and I did all kinds of stuff like that. And now Mom still has all the money that she had before, only now she's much less vulnerable to swings in the market and stuff like that. And she actually has a little bit more cash on hand in case we need to start paying large bills every month, like paying to put her into a personal care home or a nursing home or something like that. So, when you have powers of attorney, you're going to see things in there like very broad powers to engage in banking and real estate investment transactions on behalf of a person. Let's talk about the next one of my faves. One that, by show of hands, how many people in this room have a power of attorney in force right now? You've signed one, someone's been named as your agent. So, less than half of you. Shame, shame, shame on all of the rest of you. The financial power of attorney is the single most important legal document you can ever sign. I don't care what you're talking about. My power of attorney, not my personally, the one that I would do for you, but any financial power of attorney, more important than whatever document you're thinking of. The mortgage on your house, child's play compared to a power of attorney. Any contract you can think of. My power of attorney is more important than that. Because my power of attorney covers everything. Every aspect of your life. From the moment you sign it till the moment you die, it covers everything. There's nothing more important than everything. Now, for those of you who have a power of attorney, go home tonight. Take a quick read through it. I'll bet you lunch tomorrow that it doesn't have a broad gifting power in it. If it says anything about gifting at all, it probably says, my agent has the power to make limited gifts. Now, there are a few things in my life that get me as ticked off as giving somebody a power of attorney with a limited gifting clause. Limited gifting clauses are incredibly useful things, but they're meant for very high net worth people. People who have more than $5 million in assets and are interested in doing federal estate and gift tax planning, because that's what limited gifts are all about. It's the ability to make a gift up to the amount of the gift tax annual exclusion, which happens to be now $14,000 per person per year. They're utilized to transfer wealth from rich people to usually other members of their family who aren't quite as rich without triggering the need to file federal gift tax returns. And they're usually being done and used every year. So I happen to have two sons. Neither of them are married, thank God. They're a little young for that. But someday they might be. I can give $14,000 to son one. I can give $14,000 to son two. I can give $14,000 to son one's wife. And I can give $14,000 to son two's wife. So, having done that, I've now given away what? $62,000. I was an English major. What the hell do I know? So, my wife can do the exact same thing. So before you know it, I've managed to transfer a pretty substantial chunk of change, gift tax free.